fun. I want to hear how it goes. Hey, Dax, how are you doing? Okay, let me put this in the poll here. I also want to hear what y'all are doing for Thanksgiving break. So we are going to do some learning today too, but I just want to hear how y'all are doing. Okay, so choose your favorite here. Toy Story 2 versus The Jungle Book. All right, 10 seconds. Go ahead and put in your votes real quick for that. Okay, Jungle Book is winning 3-1 right now. Oh, neck and neck here. Toy Story 2 was a good one. That was the one with the song, like that really sad song. Like about, Jesse being replaced. Oh, that's just, oh my gosh, 9 for Toy Story 2, only 5 for Jungle Book now. Wow. All right, anybody else got their vote? Because I'm about to put down that Toy Story 2 wins here. 10-5. All right, Toy Story 2 wins. Yeah, the song about Jesse being left was so sad. I can't even think about it. All right, y'all know what the next one's going to be by these pictures here. It's going to be Cinderella. Hey, Logan, Cinderella versus Wall-E, which is kind of a weird mix. Like they're just completely different movies, right? Oh, we have so many on Wall-E. I knew that Dax would be on Wall-E for sure. Everybody's saying Wall-E, and we all are reading it the exact same way. Man, that's a tough one, though, for me. Cinderella was like a childhood movie. Hey, Daniel, how are you? I definitely think, though, that y'all have decided about Wall-E because it's like, what's the vote right now? 8-2. Okay, anybody else for Wall-E or Cinderella here? Oh, can y'all not see the results? Here you go. 8-2. Cinderella versus Wall-E. It's a cinematic masterpiece. Wall-E was really good, I think, especially for its time. Like it really broke some new ground there. All right, Wall-E very clearly wins this one. Y'all have done well. Okay, next one. The Incredibles. I'm about to spell that wrong. The Incredibles, like the first movie, not the second, or Brave. Incredibles versus Brave. What do y'all think? Brave 4, Incredibles 2 right now. Brave 6, Incredibles 2? Seriously? Wow. I am shocked. Only 2 people in this chat have voted for The Incredibles. I'm kind of, okay, there we go. Okay, I've doubled it up there. I'm kind of manipulating it. I'm pushing y'all to do one thing. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're 4-8. Incredibles versus Brave. 6-8. We're almost neck and neck here. Any other votes to make this a tiebreaker here? All right, Brave wins by 2 votes. That was a close one. Okay, next one, Toy Story 3, which I think was a pretty good one. I think Toy Story 3 was a good one versus Tangled. So this is going to be hard, I think. But I think that it won't be hard for y'all. Toy Story 3 versus Tangled. Put your votes in. Okay, Toy Story 3, Tangled 7. Hey, MJ, how are you? 5-9. Tangled is winning by 4 votes here. Tangled winning by 3 votes. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, okay. Tangled only winning by 2 votes, but I think that everybody has voted. So bummer. That one's tough too. Okay, but I think Tangled is really good too. So Tangled wins on that one by 2 votes. Way to go. Yeah, me too. I love Pascal. Okay, an older one. Hopefully y'all have seen them though. If you have not, then you need to watch these movies. Okay, Lady and the Tramp or Peter Pan, the animated version? Lady and the Tramp versus Peter Pan. 4-2. 4 for Lady and the... Oh, we're neck and neck. Half and half here. 5 for Lady and the Tramp. 8 for Peter Pan now. Okay. Wait, this is crazy. This keeps going whack on the options here. Okay, Peter Pan is winning by 3 right now. Oh, Emily, you haven't seen Lady and the Tramp. Okay. 2. Peter Pan is winning by 2. Peter Pan's winning by 1 now. Oh, man. Man, these are all neck and neck for y'all. Okay, if nobody else votes, then I guess Peter Pan wins by 1. Those are both really good movies. That's tough. Okay, I think this is the last one, which this one actually was the hardest one for me to think about because I actually really loved both of these, but I have my own thoughts on it for sure. So Ratatouille versus Monsters, Inc. Let me type it in. Please tell me that y'all have all seen this. I hope that y'all have. Emily says, oh no. Okay, but but this is not Monsters University. Make sure you know it's not Monsters University, it's Monsters Inc. There's like a 1 and a 2. Okay, we are 5 for Ratatouille, 6 for Monsters Inc. Okay, Monsters Inc. is winning by 2. Now Monsters Inc. is winning by 1. Emily says, I can't, in all caps. She can't choose. All right, Monsters Inc. is sitting 1 ahead. All of these were so tight for you guys. It's so funny. Any other votes here? All right, Monsters Inc. wins by 1. And in my opinion, I think there's both really good movies, but I think that Monsters Inc. to me has a little bit more to it. There's like a little bit more to it to me. So I agree with Monsters Inc. I was kind of bummed about The Incredibles, so I really like that movie, but I guess Brave was really a good movie too. Okay, so that concludes our animated bracket, and I think we are done now, by the way. So just so y'all know, we are done. This is a shout out. I just checked like 20 minutes ago. 13 of y'all have already logged into chemistry today, so great job. Hopefully you guys are wrapping up and pushing through and that you're not in Thanksgiving mode yet because we only have 2 more weeks of school after Thanksgiving break. I'm going to repeat that. We only have 2 weeks of school after Thanksgiving break. So hopefully you're still pushing through, getting those assignments done and turned in because you can get ahead and you can finish. You could, if you are at the end of Unit 4, you could finish Unit 5 in like a couple days if you wanted to, or maybe even 1 day if you had all day to do it. So if you want to just finish chemistry, then go for it. Please do. So keep on working on that. We have 2 more days until Thanksgiving break, which I am so excited about. So I had to make a little graphic for it with all my favorite Thanksgiving stuff. How many of y'all have some fun plans? I heard some stuff already, like Sadiq's going to Dubai. Megan's going to Florida. Natalie, you're doing Unit 4 test today. Natalie, you could finish chemistry today or tomorrow if you wanted to, if you kept pushing through. Okay, anybody have any fun Thanksgiving plans? I'm just going to see family and wondering when I'm going to go into labor. So that's my Thanksgiving week. Emery says, what are y'all's favorite Thanksgiving foods? That's really tough for me. I really love all food. Emily's going to a friend's house. Yes, that's super fun. My favorite Thanksgiving food. That is so tough. I don't have any kids right now, Andrew. This will be my first. Green bean casserole. Actually, I'm with Natalie on that. Green bean casserole is one of my favorites, for sure. Yeah, I had some good turkey this weekend. I had one Thanksgiving already, like this past weekend, which was fun. Well, cool. I hope that y'all have a great week for Thanksgiving break. This is really important. I want y'all to pay attention to this page. When on Friday at 2:00 on Friday, this will be my new landing page. And I want you to know for the rest of the unit, for the rest of the semester, this will help you so much. Okay. So if for whatever reason, like I'm out for an afternoon, or like there's a substitute teacher in, or if you just don't like coming to my classroom or for whatever reason, I have stuff and I've organized it. I've been working really hard to organize it on every single unit. Okay, so there's handouts and then there's videos. But I go through and I look at what's difficult on those lessons and I talk about it and I address it. So just know I'm not just like throwing random videos out. All of the links in here are really well thought out to help you with chemistry, because I know that chemistry can be tough. Hey, Blanche, that's okay. No problem. Thanks for taking off for work. Tell your boss thank you. So this is super important for you when you finish and wrap everything up. I would click on all the links that you're on and make sure you save them if you want to, but this will be posted during Thanksgiving week so that you can keep working whenever I'm not working if you want to. If you want like a one-stop shop, there are two main links that you need to know about, and I'm going to actually post them in our class. Hold on. These are the two main links, and I want to talk about them. So everybody look on my screen real quick. So the student resource folder, you probably have already looked at it, but when you click on the student resource folder, this will come up, okay? And then whatever unit that you're on, let's say that you're on unit 4 right now. And so you're gonna click on unit 4, and my computer goes slow. Does y'all's computer go slow? And then within unit 4, do you see these blue documents here? Whatever lesson that you're on, you click on it. So let's say that you're on Unit 4, Lesson 6. So you're going to click on that and then hop on over to that. And I have like examples, and I've thought through, and I have, I worked through a hard problem with you. I show a video here. I show slides here. So basically I give like direction on whatever lesson you're working on. Unless it's like a lesson that most people don't struggle with, I have information on it. And so your student resource folder should be your best friend on getting through chemistry, because I've put a lot of work into making it work out really well for it. And then the other thing is my YouTube channel. Okay, so here's my YouTube channel right here. As you finish the semester, I want you to look at this because I've worked really hard to make this help you a lot. If you go to my YouTube channel and then click on playlists right here, you'll see, hold on, let me send this link in the chat. Everybody click on this if you want to go ahead and save it. You can subscribe if you want to, but you don't have to. And if you click on playlists, I have playlists for each unit, okay? So like, for example, here's unit 4, and you can click view playlist, and anything that's a tutorial, that means that the answers are in there. So if you're working on the lesson, watch it while you're doing the lesson, because the answers are literally, I'm doing the exact lesson problems. So unit 4, lesson 1, I'm doing the exact problems. Unit 4, lesson 3, I'm doing the exact problems. Unit 4, lesson 5, I'm doing the exact problems, so that you can see how I do it. And sometimes I don't work through every single problem, but most of the time I do, or I work through almost all of them. And so these playlists should really help you during Thanksgiving week. They should help you if you just want to watch them as you're doing your lesson, to help you actually kind of get a better understanding of chemistry and to get through it quicker, because I know that chemistry can just be a lot of work, okay? So just know that is all there for you. Those are the two links that you need, the student resource folder and then my YouTube channel. You need to have both of those saved as like your favorites, because chemistry is your favorite course, right? I'm sure you all love chemistry the most. Okay. I just want to remind you, with all that, you can finish chemistry early. You can finish chemistry today if you want to. If you get all of your assignments done through Unit 5, you need a 70 in order to get credit. So if you've submitted all the assignments and you have a 70, then you have credit for the course, okay? And you can ask more questions about that afterward if you want to. Emily, I'm so glad you really love chemistry. That's good. Anybody else actually like chemistry a lot? I want to know. But you can finish chemistry early. You can work on it during the break if you want to. You don't have to at all, but you can if you want to just get it done. So that is everything today. Also, I'm wearing, it's college day, so I'm wearing my UT Tyler shirt. I went to UT Tyler. I'm from Tyler. So if y'all ever have questions about that school, they have a good chemistry program, and they have a lot of other good programs there. That school, like a good nursing school. I'm trying to think of other aspects of it. I think they have a good business school too. So if you have any questions at all about UT Tyler, let me know. I went there. Your grandpa's from Tyler. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Okay. So last week we talked about what a mole is, right? And when you see a dozen, you know that a dozen means 12, right? A dozen is 12 things. You could have a dozen donuts. You could have a dozen eggs. You could have a dozen people. It means 12, right? And a mole is very similar, okay? A mole is this number right here. A mole is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd things. That's a lot of things. So if you have a mole of donuts, you have like enough donuts to go to like the moon and back multiple times, right? Because that is a big, big number. But you can have a mole of anything. It's just a big number. We use it for atoms a lot of the time. So if you have 2 moles, you just have double that. Just like if you have 2 dozen, you have 24. If you have 2 moles, you've got 12 times 10 to the 23rd, right? So a mole is just a number. It's just a quantity. If you have half a mole, you have 3 times 10 to the 23rd things because half of 6.02 is 3.01, right? So a mole is just a number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Don't let it scare you because it's not scary. Its bark is worse than its bite, okay? Molar mass is how much 1 mole weighs. It's how much 1 mole weighs. So this is super cool. This molar mass is beneath every element on the periodic table. So 1 mole of carbon weighs 12 grams. So you know that if you weigh out 12 grams of carbon, you have exactly 1 mole. So just like 12 eggs is a dozen, and a dozen eggs might weigh like, I looked it up online, a dozen egg weighs like 680 grams, okay? That many atoms of carbon is 1 mole. 12 eggs is a dozen, 6.02 is 1 mole. And that weighs 12 grams, and that's called molar mass. So I'm gonna have y'all try this real quick. I'm gonna have y'all try a shortcut. Rather than figuring this out and adding it up, I want y'all to Google this and tell me the answer and see if y'all can get it. So take a second and look this up online. Like do a separate tab and look up what is the molar mass of Mg3PO42 and see if you can get it. I'm gonna do it too and see if I can get it faster than y'all. Y'all hear me typing over here? Y'all Google it and tell me. Okay, I got the answer. Okay, Emery's got it. Who else? So type in like molar mass of Mg3PO42. Make sure you type it in exactly as exact as possible. I know you can't do like the subscripts, but you can type it in like that. Anybody else have it? Adam, great job. Natalie, great job. Emery's got it too. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all. So here's what I Googled if y'all want to see. Molar mass of, and see how I kind of typed that in like this. I did parentheses around it, Mg3. You're good, Emily. Take your time. So I wanted to help y'all out. You can add it up and do all that work yourself. Or if you know how to Google search for the molar mass, it will add it up for you, okay? So the molar mass of Mg3PO42 is like around 262.855, okay? What does that mean? What does molar mass mean? So we know the molar mass is 262. What does that even mean? What does that number make sense of? What do y'all think? So molar mass is how much 1 mole weighs. So if I weigh out that much, I get my kitchen scale and I weigh out 262 grams, I have 1 mole. It tells me how many moles I have. If I have half of that, I would have half a mole. If I had 3 times of that, I would have 3 moles, right? So this tells me how much it weighs when you have 1 mole. The molar mass is telling you how much something weighs when you have 1 mole. Does that kind of make sense? I know that it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around that. Yeah, it's telling you the weight, Emily. Great job. The weight for 1 mole. Okay, makes sense a little bit more on that because I want this to make sense rather than you just getting completely lost. Because when you take chemistry B in the spring, molar mass is all over the place. So I want you to know how it works and how to find it. Okay. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something fun. We're going to talk about grilled cheese and limiting reactants. How many of y'all like grilled cheese? What's weird is that whenever I grew up, I didn't like cheese. And so I never liked grilled cheese growing up because I didn't like cheese. And so now I like cheese, but I don't really eat grilled cheese because I don't have a connection to it. I don't have a bond to it, okay? But I made a recipe for it, which is really simple. Okay, so here's my recipe. Tell me if you like it. So 2 slices of bread plus 1 slice of cheese is gonna make 1 grilled cheese sandwich. Does that recipe sound good to y'all? Like it's decent? Probably some spices would help too, but we're gonna keep it simple. Okay, so let me ask you a question, y'all grilled cheese experts. If you have in your pantry right now 6 slices of bread, and hopefully in your fridge, not your pantry, 2 slices of cheese, how many sandwiches can you make with that? Okay, why can you only make 2? You have 6 slices of bread. Why can't you make more than that? Okay, Emily says you only have 2 cheeses, right? Okay, so in real life, in reality, we run out of things all the time, right? We have to like work with what we've got, right? Okay, Emery is on top of it. I love that answer. Okay, so this is important. The limiting reactant is the reactant that runs out the fastest. Okay, so the limiting reactant is the reactant that limits us. So in our example of the 6 slices of bread and 2 slices of cheese, what are we limited by? Are we limited by the bread or the cheese? We're limited by the cheese, right? It's the thing that had the lowest quantity. It ran out the fastest, right? So remember that a reactant are the things on the left-hand side. So remember, these are reactants. And then what is it called on the right-hand side? Yes, great job, Natalie. On the right-hand side, it's called the products, right? So the limiting reactant is the thing that runs out the quickest. The leftover is the excess. So remember that our bread, like Natalie said, is our excess reactant. It's left over, okay? So let's do some math. How many of y'all want to do some math this Wednesday? Because I'll do it for you. I wrote this out myself so that it can kind of be neater for you so you can look at it. So if you have a problem like this on your Unit 4 test or on your, it might be in Unit 5 as well, you are going to take one of your reactants. So let's choose one. We're going to start with the bread, okay? And we're going to see how many sandwiches can we make with 6 slices of bread. So we're going to multiply, and we're going to put sandwiches on top and bread on bottom. And I said 1 and 2 because for every 1 sandwich, you need 2 slices of bread. And then our bread will cancel out, right? And so how many sandwiches can we make with 6 slices of bread? Technically, how many sandwiches? We could make 3, right? 6 divided by 2 is 3. We could make 3 sandwiches with those 6 slices of bread. Now let's do the cheese. So we have the cheese and we want to get to sandwiches. And it takes 1 slice of cheese for every 1 sandwich, unless you want to go all out and you want to have like 2 slices of cheese. How many of y'all do 2 slices of cheese per sandwich? Anyways, normally you have 1 slice of cheese. So that's my recipe for every 1 sandwich. And so that would make how many sandwiches? It would make 2, right? Okay, so we just converted both of those over to like potentially how many potential sandwiches we could make, okay? So the cheese produces the least amount, so it's our limiting reactant. So I know that this seems kind of obvious to some of y'all, but I want to show y'all the math behind it. The cheese could make the least sandwiches. I know it's almost lunchtime. We need to have grilled cheese. So it is our limiting reactant. The bread produces the most sandwiches, so it is our excess reactant. Whatever your limiting reactant is able to produce is called your theoretical yield. So when the problem asks you for the theoretical yield, you take your limiting reactant and you convert it over to sandwiches. You convert it over to products, okay? And so 2 sandwiches is our theoretical yield. The theoretical yield is basically how much you theoretically could make with your batch of what you have, right? So our theoretical yield is 2 sandwiches because the slices of cheese are what limit us, okay? There is some practice here, and we don't have to get into all of it. I'm going to go through it a little bit more quickly. But when you have a problem like this is problem number 8 on one of your lessons. So I'm doing it with y'all to help you. The first thing you do is you convert grams to moles, okay? So you look up the molar mass and you read this problem, you have your equation here, and you're gonna write down the grams of one of your reactants, just like I did right there, right? I wrote down the 107.9, and we're gonna convert it over to moles using molar mass. Oh, that's supposed to say 26.98. I think it got cut off. That 6.98 right here. This should say 26.98. And you convert it over to moles. And whenever I did that, I got 4 moles. So I figured out how many moles I had. And then you take those 4 moles and you convert it over to your product. And I think that this problem wanted us to get to Al2SO43. So we convert it over to Al2SO43. Okay. And we're going to put in the numbers here, 1 for Al2SO43 and 2 for Al. And let me show you why. Because of these numbers here. So the 2 is what goes here. And then this one has like an invisible 1, which is what goes here. Okay, so it's telling you like what's the ratio in the actual equation. And you plug that in. And that tells us how many moles of the product that we have. Okay. I know, Emily, it makes more sense with grilled cheese. And that's just because we all love grilled cheese. So it's easier to think about. Okay, and then you convert the moles over to grams. And so you look up the molar mass to get the, the relationship there. And you can take those 2 moles and you multiply them by the molar mass. Okay, and that tells you how many grams of product you have. Just like we figured out before, like, oh, we can make 3 sandwiches. We just figured out, oh, okay, we can make 684 grams of Al2SO43. So we basically did the same thing, just a little bit more complicated because we had to look up molar mass as well. And we got to our grams there. So then you do it for the other reactant. So we did it for the aluminum right here. And now we're going to do it for the sulfuric acid. So we do the same steps. We convert it over. I'm kind of going quick because we're doing the same steps. Except you pull these numbers for this step right here. And you convert it to grams of your reactant. And we figure out the number there. Okay, so you do it twice. And let me summarize on this page. We figured out, like when you do it, you figure out, okay, the aluminum can make this much aluminum sulfate. And the sulfuric acid could make this much. So which one limits us? Does the Al limit us or does the H2SO4 limit us? What do y'all think? I know that was kind of a lot, but when you look at this here, which one? The aluminum can produce 684 grams. The sulfuric acid can produce 742 grams. So which one is the one that limits us? The aluminum, right? So I know those steps were kind of done quickly, but let's just talk about like once you get your grams, right? The aluminum can produce less. So it is what limits us. It can only produce that much. And so the sulfuric acid, the H2SO4, is what's left over. It's the excess reactant, right? So aluminum produces the least amount of product. So it is our limiting reactant and the sulfuric acid goes away. And so our theoretical yield is 684.28 grams. You get the theoretical yield from your limiting reactant. So the 742.4, we don't use that. Like it doesn't matter because we can't make it. So it goes away. Y'all like how I had it just go away. So the 684 is what matters. That's what we can make with our situation here. So I know that was a lot and I have other videos on it too, where I can where you can watch it and it makes a little bit more sense. And so I can send those over to you. But I kind of wanted to stop here and just remind y'all, I hope you'll have the best Thanksgiving break. And you can text me anytime this week to get help and to push through and keep doing multiple assignments in chemistry per day so that you can get caught up and so that you can finish early, okay? So if y'all have any questions, y'all can stick around and I will help y'all out. And if not, y'all are all good to go. Hope y'all have a great break. Bye, Natalie.